We're always fighting to promote the idea that if you're educated and understand what you're doing, you should be accredited. And so we're hoping that legislation follows that path. As a company, it's always been our goal and mission to democratize access to private companies, because that has not been available to the ordinary accredited investor, especially for medium and growth companies that are worth $1 billion or more.
Hey, what's going on, family friends? Merry Christmas. I hope you're all having a great day unwrapping the gifts that Santa left you. I know I have a special gift to unwrap with you, particularly for my XRP family. And what better time than the holidays to talk about building generational wealth? Earlier this year, I found myself standing in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel here in Laguna Niguel, surrounded by some of the most forward-thinking visionaries and investors in the world. I couldn't help but feel the energy in the room. So with that being said, I'm really excited to share my beachfront interview with Linqto's Chief Strategy Officer, Karim Nurani. This year has been an incredible year for our community. We've weathered the storms, celebrated victories, and continue to build towards a more inclusive financial future.
This whole thing is absolutely surreal. Like, how did we get here? You know what I mean? Like, we climbed Everest, and 4 years later, and we're selling out movie theaters, and it's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the documentary?
I'm gonna say this. In the words of the great Mike Tyson, everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. And I'm pretty damn sure the XRP Army just punched the SEC right in the damn mouth.
It's a short, chopping right hand. There it is. Right on.
Cheers to everybody. We did it.
And let me tell you, 2025 is shaping up to be even more transformative. In this interview, Karim and I explored everything from the current state of private capital markets to the future of investment democratization, which Linqto is leading the charge on, ladies and gentlemen. And to all you contrarian investors watching this, you're really going to appreciate the perspective that Karim has on how traditional finance is evolving and where the opportunities exist in this new landscape. What stood out to me most was how aligned Linqto's vision is with what we in the digital asset space have been advocating for, breaking down barriers, creating access, and building bridges to opportunities that were previously out of reach for most investors, including myself. So go grab your eggnog, get cozy, and join me for this life-changing conversation. Consider it my Christmas gift for you all. Just what the XRP community was hoping for under the Christmas tree this year. So thanks for tuning in. Love you mucho. Ladies and gentlemen, to my right is Karim Nurani, Chief Strategy Officer of Linqto. We are in a spot, I'm gonna get emotional. We're in a spot that I've filmed so many times, busted my balls, excuse me, Karim, for the community, for democratizing access to the world of private equity. This is a really big moment, and I'm really proud that you're here with me, Karim. We're here at the Ritz-Carlton of Laguna Niguel to collaborate and really bring this Silicon Valley-based technology company with a bright future and bring them down to Southern California. So to just be here, Karim, this means a lot to me, and I really appreciate you just taking your time to spend this with me. Don't leave me hanging, sir. Anyways, how has your experience been at this two-day event? Any takeaways, special moments?
So first of all, thank you, Ray, for making this happen.
Absolutely.
I remember the story that you told us last night, that when you were a little kid and you were surfing this surf since you were 13 years old, and your wish at that time was to be at the Ritz-Carlton Laguna Niguel. And that resonates because we are here today,
Yes.
making that dream come true. And as a company, Linqto wants to assist people who want to invest in private companies, want their dreams to come through for generational wealth. This hasn't been done before. And when we launched the company in 2020, we've seen a huge outpouring of positive feedback, of interaction, of engagement, like we saw here, where we got some of our best members to meet each other, to share stories, to get to know each other, and build a community, a Linqto community of private investors who can invest in private companies. I want to thank you for all the work that you've done. It was such a pleasure to meet your dad, your mom, your wife, and your child.
Yes, sir.
What a wonderful experience, and it's been lovely.
It was great finally to introduce Leah and my daughter to everyone, because everyone knows my mom. People slowly have been meeting my dad, but Leah's always been at home, just keeping the household steady and watching over Eden, allowing me to travel across the US and around the world. But anyways, I'd love to take advantage of this moment to share with those in the audience maybe some forward-looking statements of Linqto, get some people to, obviously you're a platform that has transformed and revolutionized the private capital markets, giving someone like me access and the ability to invest right alongside some of the largest institutional investors in the world, such as Linda P. Jones mentioned, Andreessen Horowitz, other large institutions as well. But where I'm getting at is, what's going on with Linqto? What are you guys aiming for in the short term, if you're willing to share, or long term?
I'm just going to preface this conversation with saying this is not financial advice.
True.
I'm not a financial advisor, and I can't do that. I can't give you financial advice. But as a company, it's always been our goal and mission to democratize access to private companies, because that has not been available to the ordinary accredited investor, especially for medium and growth companies that are worth $1 billion or more. So you look at environments where there is no way, absolutely no way, that individual investors can get involved with these companies. And we've made that possible, and we'll continue to make it possible. The way we operate is we look around for upcoming emerging companies that are worth $1 billion or more. We make some exceptions. We analyze the sectors and the trends in the broader economy and identify private companies that might actually be, at some point, go through a liquidity event, which gives our investors an opportunity to enjoy the ride up and to exit with a successful exit. So what we've been doing, obviously, if you haven't been on the Linqto platform, we analyze trends, and we've seen the trends in space, we've seen the trends in AI, we've seen the trends in robotics, and we've seen the trends in consumer goods. And so we identify these companies, we acquire the shares, and then allow you to be a member in an SPV, that's an LLC that holds equity positions, that you hold an equity position in the SPV and LLC. So this gives you an opportunity to diversify your portfolio into various companies that probably meet your particular investment philosophy. And so we've got 70 odd companies on the platform right now.
Wow. Please make note this interview was conducted in July of 2024. Fast forward to today, Linqto has over 80 portfolio companies now on their platform. Go Linqto team, go.
We'll continue to identify promising companies and invest in them and bring them to the accredited investor to invest in.
Kudos to you. Congratulations, Karim. Do you imagine on the Linqto platform to double the amount that you have today, or is there an amount that you're happy with?
So the 70 companies, just to be clear, is excluding the companies that we've already seen an exit in. So some of the companies that we saw an exit in was Coinbase, Robinhood, Marqeta, SoFi, Jackpocket, Astera Labs, and
recently,
and various other companies. How do we decide how many companies to be on the platform? We're continuing to assess the market and determine whether they're good companies. We just don't need to have a ton of companies. We need to have the right companies.
Sure.
And so when those right companies come along, we'll make an investment and then allow other investors to invest with us.
With that track record, Coinbase, Robinhood, SoFi, that must build some really great street cred. And knowing the products that are on your platform, the Ripples, the SpaceX, the Krakens, I think that you guys have nothing but great upside potential, knowing that you guys are doing your homework, knowing the team that you have working with you as well. So I'm proud not only to have been able to wear Linqto's colors, but also to learn from some of the smartest people in the world. So I cherish every moment and all those engagements and opportunities. When I first came to know, even before I became an employee of Linqto, I was a customer. So there's a journey that I'm very proud of how I got there. But one thing that left an impact on me, or at least left a great impression, was when I first knew about Linqto, I didn't satisfy the accredited investor requirements. But thankfully, it's a multi-pronged way. And what I mean, where I'm getting at is you can either have $1 million in liquid assets, you could have a household income of 200,000, you could have a solo income of 200,000, a household income, so you and your spouse combined, of 300,000. And so knowing that when I first came to know and love Linqto, I unfortunately didn't satisfy those requirements. Thankfully, which you've met my wife, we were able to combine our incomes together and then satisfy that threshold. So there are multiple avenues of satisfying the accredited investor requirements for those who may not be aware. Don't be discouraged. If there's a will, there's a way. And just by knowing that these requirements exist is half the battle, because if you want something, you'll achieve it.
So there's always a way. Accreditation means different things in different jurisdictions.
Very true.
These keep changing. And so the idea is to look at where you are. And I'm sure this is a global send. 15% of our investors are international investors. So the accreditation requirements in other countries may be a little bit different. The US also continues to assess their requirements for accreditation. And it's a simple way. Just Google accreditation status and what I need to know. And there were various ways of looking at that and becoming accredited.
So you see a future where they might be changed?
There's always change.
True.
The question is it good change?
Yes.
Now, the legislation obviously needs to understand that highly educated people, call it a professor in economics at a university, may not fall under the terms accreditation the way it's defined today in terms of financial wherewithal, but they have the knowledge. So the question is, will the legislation change to allow educated investors make investments? And they should. And so we're always fighting to promote the idea that if you're educated and understand what you're doing, you should be accredited. Mm-hmm. And so we're hoping that legislation follows that path.
Yeah, I hope so too, because that would open the doors significantly for Linqto, revolutionizing the market and then also creating some really interesting tech where you're able to bridge the gap between crypto markets and private equity through your relationship with Uphold.
Yeah, just to be clear, we're not a crypto company, but I think the point you're trying to make, Ray, is that if you do have crypto wealth, it doesn't mean you shouldn't change some of that wealth into USD and make it into dollars and then diversify your asset holding, because diversification is important. That's really important to realize is, do you want all your eggs in one basket, or do you want to have a variety of assets? Certain things will go up, some things will go down. But pay attention and be educated, do your research, understand what's out there. And there's a lot. And what we found out from the community meeting that we had today, everyone has their own goal for financial success. Mm-hmm. And you have to understand and stick to that playbook and change it every so often if you're losing.
I believe you and Joe mentioned it yesterday that this game is fluid. The target is always moving. And so we always have to be learning. We've got to have our thumb on the pulse of the local markets, the macro markets, and I'd say have faith and be optimistic that the market will turn in your favor as long as you're doing your homework, and don't enter this game with the mindset that it's a get-rich-quick scheme, and that as much as we do our homework, things aren't always guaranteed as well.
No.
So
nothing's guaranteed, and education's important, and research is as important, and learning even more important. Spend the time. Spend the time learning, spend the time researching, do your due diligence, and pick a sector. Pick a company, pick an environment that you're comfortable with, and check it out.
I think you forgot. Pick a leader.
Pick a leader.
And follow their footsteps.
Yeah, follow their footsteps. We know there are very many successful people out there.
I was speaking about you, Karim.
Oh, thank you.
If you want to learn more about Linqto, the most transformative fintech company to come out of Silicon Valley, or any of the portfolio companies available on their technology-enabled investment platform, click my link below. It'll take you straight to their website.
When we were building this company, it was really important for us to democratize this access. Now, I know people will say democratize access is become a buzzword, and yes, it has, but it wasn't 4 years ago when we embarked on this journey. We're doing it, and we're doing it successfully. And thank you for all the energy and time, Ray, that you've put into helping us build this. Appreciate your energy, talent, enthusiasm, and everything that you've done.
I appreciate you, Karim. This has been a wonderful opportunity and a wonderful journey, and it wouldn't have been the same without someone like you to experience and be in the trenches alongside. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, and big shout out to Ray. It's been awesome.
Thank you, Karim.
Thank
Love
you.
you much, sir.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. All right, now you can go free.